Well, good morning. The one thing that's always very special to me about the art Maria does and the art that I do with the flowers and all is that there's a message behind them, and sometimes we don't even know what they are. And I think this is really true of the quilt that Maria has just made and of course sold before it's even done. Um, it's called The Memory of Belonging, and I thought it would really be interesting to talk about it. And here we are in Full Moon Fiber Art Studio. Hello, Maria.
Hello, John.
Hi, we're
Welcome
here to talk
my
about your
studio.
new quilt, your exciting new quilt. Here you are. This is a memory of belonging. It's sold already, I have to say.
It is, and it's not finished yet.
And it's not finished yet, of course.
Did you take a picture of the linens on the line?
I did.
So those are going to be along the edges. I'll be cutting those up and putting them along the edges, to put a border around it. Watch out! And my
Okay.
pot holders on the floor. I don't want you stepping on this.
You can just show us the potholders quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is another thing that I really have.
Wow,
I'm
look
not
at that.
completely
That's
certain
kind of
about.
cool, though.
See, they all have these embroidered bunnies or an embroidered chick. But these are the ones that I made yesterday. And so these are the ones we were talking about with the rabbits.
Oh, cool.
Remember?
Yeah, right.
So I'm not quite sure.
A little mystery in here.
There's a little mystery here too. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, except that they all have this girl, this vintage fabric it's flour sack fabric from the 1940s, moons, eggs, and the stamps, and something about rabbits and
Fertility
intuition and fertility and all of that.
Wow. All right. All right. Well, back to the quilt. Back to the memory of beginning.
Memory of belonging.
Belonging. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. You keep saying memory of beginning, but that's your
Okay.
idea, right? Yeah. So so I was able to piece together all those. I think we did did we do a video when I was starting?
Yes,
this
you did.
out? Okay. And
That's why it's good to come back.
So I was able to piece all of those linens together that I've had for so long, with the here's the iced tea and the teapots, and the flowers. I love all these great, these great hand embroidered
They're really amazing.
linens. Aren't they lovely? They're really special.
How old do you think this is? You don't know really.
Well, they're different. They're from different periods, but they're probably from the 40s, 50s, 60s. Something
So what are
like
you
that.
thinking when you put one of these together?
Well, on this one, I wrote about it on my blog about that sense of things that make you kind of have I guess maybe a nostalgic feeling, that are comforting, and tea is definitely one of those things. It's one of those very comforting things that I don't know. I always go to, right, when you need some comforting.
Yes, me too.
We've done this together, I think.
We have a
since the
cuppa.
beginning of our beginning of our friendship. And so I was thinking of this, and I was thinking of. You see, it's kind of hard to talk.
You're doing
about.
fine. You're doing fine.
Thinking of. I was just in a library with my friend Emily, helping her hang a show, and I got that feeling of being in the library. It took me back in time to when I was a kid, and I would go to libraries, and it was a feeling of belonging, and I think there are things like that bring you back and take you back to a feeling of, well, they do for me anyway, a feeling of belonging that's very special, of like, okay, this is my place, this is okay, this is comfort.
And there's always an emotion behind when you make something like this.
Oh yeah. Well, there has to be layers. It can't just be pretty linen sewed together. For me, it has to have meaning. It has to have layers of meaning behind it.
I'm even finding that with the flowers, that they have special emotional meaning to me, and I don't quite know what they are.
Well, this is the thing. This is why you use images, because you don't have words for it, and that's very new for you, because you're a writer and you always have words for everything.
I always have words all the time.
And now I hear you saying things like, I'm taking these pictures and I'm taken over, and I'm looking at the flowers, and I just know the right angle, but I don't know it until I see it. It's not something you can plan. You get into that creative zone, and it takes you away. And it's not about words. It's about letting go. It's about undoing and letting go and allowing this other part of you to take over that doesn't have to do with linear thinking, doesn't have to do even with storytelling. It's more abstract. It's more more
Nice.
imagery.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So the things you're on the line, you're just cleaning them before you.
Oh, I wash them all. Yeah, because I've had these in my cabinets for a long time, and they get a little musty.
They're quite lovely hanging on the line. They really are very nice.
I know. I love hanging them on the line, and then I hang them overnight so they get nice fresh smell. And
then when you're
do
done,
like
are
that.
you done? Do you get them out of your head, or do you still think about?
Oh no, then they're done. Oh yeah, once I do it, it's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
So now you're
it may come
into
up-
the rabbits.
It probably leads to another thing. I mean, working on this led to the rabbits because I had this other linen that someone just recently gave me here. Where is it? With
She knows where everything is.
this was a tablecloth. So there, I have 3 more of them left, and it had 4 of these embroideries. And this is machine embroidery. This
Hold them
isn't
flat
hand
out so I can
embroidery.
see them.
And so it was
Here we go.
because I was working on those linens that I thought of this. So one thing
they're connected.
one thing leads to another.
But when you're done with them, you're done with them, and you go
Yeah.
to something else.
I will go to something else. Yeah, but that something else usually has a remnant of what I did before.
Right,
you know?
right.
I mean the these pot holders. This is one that I.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong place.
That's okay. These pot holders led to, the red stitching on here made me think, reminded me that I had this tablecloth with the red hand embroidered teapots. And that's what made me think, I should get all the teapots out and make a quilt out of them, and that's what brought me to this. So one thing,
Leads
they
to
always
another.
they always lead to the next thing.
And your head is always going around and around.
And creativity is like that. I always used to think that at some point I would run out of ideas, and I would try
No,
and
I wouldn't worry about
save
that.
up my ideas. But it doesn't work that way. It's
Not
like
with
the
you.
more you do, the more creative ideas you have. Or for me, I should speak for myself. But I think that's the way it works. I think that's how creativity works.
Well, you speak very well for yourself,
The
and
more-
thank you.
No,
We're heading on 8 minutes, so I think
Oh,
we
goodness,
have to.
we have to stop.
No, but to stop. This was great. This was exactly what I was hoping you would talk about. I find it fascinating as long as I've known you, and as often as I see you work, it's always kind of a miracle to me. So thank you,
Well, thank you, John.
and bye-bye.
Bye.